Hey guys, happy Thirsty Thursday with
That is a big cup of
Betsy.
coffee.
Welcome on into Let's Bet It. Lauren Jabbar here with Jared Smith, Alex Glaze. Guys, it is NFC and AFC Championship weekend in 3 days. I had to do that math in my head for a second. Alex, how the heck's your Thursday going so far? It's beautiful, ripe 10:01 a.m.
That's right. And I just told you guys, I took the night off from sports last night, enjoyed Gladiator, top 5 movie of all time. If you disagree, go argue with someone else. I want to hear it. So I'm feeling good. I'm ready for the long stretch of sports that we're going to have from now until Sunday night. Should be great.
Jared, it looks like you got a haircut over there. Am I right?
I did a couple days ago.
Nice. How
thank
have I
you
not
for
noticed?
noticing.
I'm sorry, I'm just noticing today.
It's okay. We did do the show yesterday, and I had the same haircut, which is kind of funny, but that's okay. But thank you. It's okay. Better late than never. I'll be honest. It's been a while. We were talking about this before, and we haven't done a 3-way OG show with all of us in a long time. So a lot of opinions going to get thrown around the old LBI parade today.
Yes. Cheers to that, you guys.
Yeah. Cheers, yo.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to LBI and Pickswise.
Am I the only one got a drink here?
Yeah. What the hell, Jack?
You're missing out.
Well, I don't drink coffee.
We need Jack to cheers too behind the scenes. I don't know if he's got a coffee or
time out. Alex doesn't drink coffee?
No.
Tea?
I mean, I'll drink tea. I mean, but I'm mostly just like water.
He's like, I wake up, crack raw eggs, and just chug those down.
No. But like, I don't eat my first meal until like 2. I just drink like water.
You're an intermittent faster. Yeah, I do the intermittent fasting too.
I got used to it. It's not even like I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's my schedule. I'm so used to working like nights, and then I like eat late. So then I wake up and I'm not really like that hungry.
On an NFL Sunday at 1:00, you haven't eaten yet?
No, but I'll like have food. Like I'll have food like ready for the game, but like I'm probably not eating before the game.
I'm glad we're getting this out of the way now.
That is crazy. I'm sitting here starving. I'm so hungry.
Lauren's getting ready to eat during the show. Actually, we're gonna take a break so Lauren can have a snack.
It's true.
No, you got to do your workouts on an empty stomach, and then
that's tough.
That's
tough.
It's all mental.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Alex, a lot tougher than us.
I'm mentally weak. It's okay. But you know what? We're moving on, and you guys are going to carry me through. So thank you so much for that. We got a big show today. We're talking a little NFL. We have some picks and prop bets heading into this weekend. Really looking forward to it. College basketball, NHL, and then we can't end without our best bets of the day in the Pickswise 3-star play of the day. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it and let's bet it. NFL. Before we get into any picks or any talk about the games this weekend, Denver Broncos, new head coach, Nathaniel Hackett, Green Bay Packers, offensive coordinator, Alex, does this mean that Aaron Rodgers is the next one to go?
I think it means that the Broncos are hoping that Aaron Rodgers will head their way. I mean, this has to be a play for Rodgers, right? Like, no offense to Hackett, like great coach, like deserves a job, but this is a play for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that the Broncos are making this move unless they're hoping this increases their chances of landing him, because the Broncos, they're a quarterback away. I mean, they've got all the pieces. Their defense is good. They've got the offensive weapons. They just need a quarterback. What better way to do it than just hire a head coach that hopefully can bring you one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Yeah, Jared, your thoughts on it?
I agree. I mean, I don't know why else it would be Hackett because he wasn't a name that I was hearing that was, a hot name in the coordinator circles.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would probably argue that his success as an offensive coordinator is certainly, in part because of how good Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are. So we'll see.
Let's not forget, he took Blake Bortles to an AFC Championship game.
Did he really? Was he the offensive coordinator with the Jags?
I believe he was on that Jags staff. Yeah. So that
is impressive. If you consider where the Jaguars are today and where Blake Bortles is today, that I would say that's a more impressive notch on your resume than being Aaron Rodgers' caddy in Green Bay for the last however many years.
I know. I mean, just coming from Denver, I think that would be, that town of Denver bleeds blue and orange. Like they would freaking love it.
Talk about the Steelers' chances of getting Aaron Rodgers. I just saw Big Ben's official retirement come across the wire.
Let's not talk about that. The AFC North has enough. The AFC. Hold on. Here's. If you're Aaron Rodgers, though, why would you want to go to the AFC? I mean, Mahomes. We got Josh Allen. I mean, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
It's a good
Herbert.
question.
There are a lot of quarterbacks in the AFC. The AFC is going to be a bloodbath.
How about the AFC West? You just the 3 quarterbacks you just mentioned.
Yeah, the AFC West, right?
Imagine a Mahomes, Herbert, Rodgers AFC West. Man, you feel for Derek Carr in that spot, I guess.
Jeez, yeah, seriously though, that would be insane. I guess we'll see how things kind of develop over the next couple of months or so, but
we'll be talking about this all summer. I have a feeling this is not going to be a decision that Aaron makes anytime soon.
Yeah, I know. We'll see where he's going to end up taking his talents to. Taking my talents too. Insert team here. Okay, AFC, NFC championship games this weekend. I know we gave a little bit of look ahead at our picks for the weekend already. Alex, you haven't really done that yet, have you? Talked about your picks yet? I know you're on the show this weekend.
I haven't talked about my picks.
You don't have to talk about the picks because today
I'm still looking.
Unless you want to.
It's tough. These lines are so sharp, and Jared, let's talk it. Let's talk through it, guys. Let's
have a Monday morning
because I'm looking at this Bengals +7, and it's begging you to take the 7 points with the Bengals, right? They're begging you to take the 7 points,
and I'm easily convinced to do things.
I mean, I already basically bought the Cartier shades for Joe Burrow that she's gonna wear around her apartment.
Oh my god! Wait, hold on. I mean, I could go grab. I have the same shit.
No, go grab it right now. Go grab them right now.
I have the shit.
Really have them?
Go grab. Alex,
hold on, I'm trying to think of where they actually. I mean, do you want? I mean, I don't know. Jack, tell me if you want me to go. I have.
Lauren and I can fill for the 30 seconds it would take.
We'll fill for like.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab.
Go grab them.
Go grab.
Jack, just go.
So here's what I'll say on this game, and we did a deep dive on Pickswise Playbook that comes out today. I recommend all of you to check out that show because Ross and I had a really healthy back and forth about this game. But when I look at this game in a nutshell, I just don't see a path to the Bengals winning. I just don't see how they're going to win this game. So if I don't think that they can
last
win,
week too.
Yes, but here is the thing that we were undervaluing last week. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, you pull those off pretty well. You know what kind of look like? You kind of like Walt Frazier, a young Walt Frazier.
I mean, I wouldn't wear him with a polo.
Come a little closer to the camera. We need to see like full
fresh,
on.
Bro.
It's
fresh.
I wouldn't wear him with this polo per se, but I mean, listen, when I saw Burrow with these in the post,
like a pimp with the polo on.
You can only wear these when you're in a certain mood. You have to feel a certain way to pull these shades off.
Are you going to bet the Bengals if you're going to wear those shades? That's like a must, right?
You have to.
Anyways.
You guys.
Here's the one injury that I think everyone should keep an eye on. The Honey Badger situation is one to keep an eye on. Concussion trending towards playing, but we won't know until concussion protocol clears later this week. And I just I know last week nobody thought the Bengals could win that game, but Ryan Tannehill is not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes reverted back to vintage Mahomes on Sunday night. And I don't think he is going to regress against this Bengals defense, which I think is much weaker than the Bills defense, which actually did a pretty good job on Mahomes for 58 minutes of that game. So if I don't see a path to the Bengals winning the game, it's hard for me to take 7, which is a 1-score game. 7.5, you have a little bit more faith in it. But I don't know. I think it's KC or pass. And I think this is, despite the fact that it's a high total, I think it's a great teaser spot for the Chiefs. They are winning this game. The Chiefs are winning this game. Patrick Mahomes is not losing at home to the Bengals. It's a nice story with Burrow and the nice.
My favorite thing is everyone making those TikToks, etc., of Jackson Mahomes and all of his dances.
Oh, get out of here with
it. Cuts the video off and it's Joe Burrow. If you're not Joe Burrow, keep scrolling. Joe, for the love of God, please beat. And then it cuts off. I've seen 6 or 7 of those so far. Everyone just wants Joe Burrow to win. There's this one with this guy has a mullet, and Alex, he's actually wearing the glasses that you have. And thank you very much. And he has a Joe Burrow Bengals jersey on too. And he's Joe Burrow, my man. And he's keep scrolling if you're not Joe Burrow. It just cracks me up. They're so good. I'll pull them up for you guys and send them to you in a group chat. But
can't wait.
I think the general.
Hold on, but how? I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to win this game is also. But how awesome would it be for Joe Burrow?
It would be
an amazing story. It really would.
For me, it's like when I'm betting this game, it's like, do I bet with my heart? Or do I bet
You know
with
you're
my
going to
head?
bet this game with your heart. You're not going to bet this game with your head. You
I want the
already know.
Bengals to win so bad. I want the Bengals to win so bad. I already have my bet locked in with Bengals and points +7, but I'm thinking about.
You should have waited. You're going to get 7.5. I think.
I think it's going to get to 7.5.
I
Right?
think
You
it'll get
do? Okay, then maybe I'll bet it at 7.
Well, how about you cash out if FanDuel lets you cash out the bet. Cash out the bet.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at this. You won't get less than 7. Like it's not going to go to 6.5. That's where it opened, and it quickly jumped to 7. It's not going to get back to 6.5. It'll either stay at 7 or it'll go to 7.5. So if you do want to bet the Bengals, wait until Sunday. I think you're going to get a better line. If you want to bet the Chiefs, I think 7 is the best price you'll get.
I'm going to sprinkle the Bengals money line too. You've heard
it. How does a Chiefs Niners teaser?
That's the lock.
How does that
to me, that's the tease of the week. I gave it out on Playbook as my play of the day. That'll be my best bet in the column that I.
Or Jack said Bengals to 13.5. I could see that too. I mean, I don't see the Chiefs blowing out the Bengals. I really don't.
They were up 14-0 in the first quarter, 28-17 in the first half of that game. And then the Bengals had this ridiculous second half, and it was kind of fluky with penalties. And the Chiefs only had 3 possessions in the second half.
Guess what, Jared? That's been a Monday morning therapy all season long, is the refs and some of the calls. So you know what? You never know how the game is going to fall.
Should we just do a family play? Chiefs Niners teaser.
Chiefs Niners teaser, in my opinion, if you want a safe play that gets you involved with both games this week, and all it is the Niners to not get blown out. And let's be honest, what have we seen with the Rams and Sean McVay? They cannot hold leads. And the Chiefs just to win the game. That to me is the most, I guess, safest tease of the week. The Chiefs winning and the Niners keeping it close, I think, is a very reasonable and logical teaser this week.
Let's get into some props, because a lot of the prop bets the odds were just released today. I have a couple that I'm definitely looking at, one with Jimmy G and one with Patrick Mahomes. But Alex, I'll let you go first because you have Higbee, right?
Yeah. I'm looking at Higbee over 39.5. That number is just really low to me. You look at when these two teams played earlier in the month, and he went 6 for 55. And then just looking at the past month or so, the tight ends that the Niners have faced that are, fairly big parts of their team's offense. You got CJ Uzoma, 4 for 56, Kyle Pitts, 4 for 77, and Dalton Schultz, 7 for 89. And Higbee's gone over 39.5 in both playoff games and each of the last 4 regular season games. So 6 straight games. And he's only been targeted less than 6 times once in that stretch. So he gets the targets and he's starting to produce. I just think that number's really low, 39.5. So maybe they're considering how Odell is taking a bigger part in the offense. But then if you're looking at that, I mean, Odell's number is only 50.5, which that's been under 50 for the past couple of weeks too. So I still think that number could go over as well. But for this play, Higbee over 39.5. I don't see how that doesn't hit.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I actually might tail you on that one. Jared, are you on any right now? Because it just says you don't have any on the Google sheet. I'm like, wait, there's a whole sentence typed out, but that's not a prop.
I'm getting there. So the way that I am attacking the props market this week, first of all, I do like Alex's play a lot with Higbee, and I'll reinforce it by saying the Niners. So unlike the Bucs, who blitz the most in the league, the Niners blitz the 4th least in the league, which means a lot of zone coverage, which means a lot of too deep, which means a lot of underneath stuff for Matthew Stafford, which in my opinion, running backs, tight ends is kind of the direction that I would go. And I feel the same way about this Bengals-Chiefs game. So the Bengals give up the 4th most receptions to tight ends this year and the 5th most receptions to running backs. And something to keep in mind about what happened in the last time these two teams played, which by the way was very recently, week 17. It was only 3-4 weeks ago. Travis Kelce was in his first game off the COVID list, didn't fully have his legs and his lungs, only went 5 catches for 25 yards, which for his standards is pretty low. Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't even play in that game. So the running backs who have emerged for the Chiefs, Edwards-Helaire was tremendous on Sunday, had a few really huge runs, and Jerick McKinnon has really come on of late. Those guys, in addition to Kelce being at full strength, I think are going to play a big factor in this offense for the Chiefs. So that's the receptions and the receptions receiving yards angle that I would take with those guys. Receptions, I saw Kelce's number at 6.5. It just came out last night. I've not seen any receptions or receiving yards props for the running backs yet. Those usually drop later. Those are the ones that I'm really probably going to attack hard. Kelsey's touchdown prop also, if you go to Bet365, is basically even money. It's minus 155 at FanDuel. It's like minus 130 at some of the other shops. Shop around these touchdown numbers. There are big differences between massive. That's basically from minus 155 to Bet365, which is minus 105. That's a 10% implied odds difference. I don't know why.
How? How? Big. Why? Why are they so different from sportsbook to sportsbook?
Because I think manually FanDuel thinks they are adjusting that number. That is a manual adjustment for FanDuel because there's no logical reason why a touchdown prop for the most important weapon, I would say, on the Chiefs offense in Kelsey there's a 10% implied odds difference. It doesn't make sense other than the fact that FanDuel agrees with my handicap that the tight ends are going to be a big factor for the Chiefs, and they manually adjusted that number. So shop those numbers around. But I think it's tight ends and running backs for the Chiefs. That's where I'm targeting the props market this week.
For the Chiefs, I actually have Patrick Mahomes over 29.5 rushing yards. I just thought this number was extremely, extremely, extremely low. Like when Patty Ice plays in postseason, he turns on his legs, baby. Natty Ice and Patty Ice, okay? Two of my favorite things.
God, Natty
Ice does not have any.
Natty Ice, no Natty Ice.
At least I'm not saying, hey, I'm drinking PBR, so whatever.
Oh, God. Yep.
But the last 8 playoff games prior to last week, he averaged 36 rush yards per game. Now, against the Bills last week, 69 rushing yards on 7 carries. I just think that 29.5 is really, really low. So pounce on it right now because I only think this number is going to go up. He surpassed it in 4 of his last 6 games. So I'm hammering that one hard. Patrick Mahomes over 29.5 rushing yards. I also like Jimmy G under 228.5 passing yards.
Wow.
I know. Let me tell you, he's playing.
Never bet unders in props.
I know. But I was looking at it and he's just playing through multiple injuries right now. 152 passing yards per game in the postseason is the lowest of all remaining quarterbacks left.
But that Packers game was so fluky. It's hard to really.
I know, but at the same time,
that game was played in a blizzard.
At the same time, he's missing his thumb and a
quarter. A quarter was played in a blizzard.
He's playing with one arm at this point.
He's going to be fine. I watched the practice footage this week. I would not base your handicap on Jimmy G's shoulder. I really
but then also you look at their stats. San Fran runs the ball on 58% of their offense.
That's valid. They are going to run the ball.
Weekend. I think this number is going to continue to be bet down. So that's why I want to bet it now at 228.5. I like the under in this spot. For Jimmy
Shanahan reminds me of Mike Tomlin. Just wants to win. It's going to be ugly. They're going to run the ball. It's not going. You're going to watch the game and then somehow just be like, wait, how are they in this? It's going to be defense,
one of those games.
Running the ball. And I think that the way that the Niners stay in this thing is to keep Matt Stafford and that offense off the field. And I'm not looking at any rushing props yet for the Niners, but Debo, I believe it was under 50. Was it 47?
Yeah, that one's gone up a ton. So it was 28.5 in the Cowboys game, and now it's all the way up into the 40s. The market, I think, has caught up with Debo. I think the market's caught up with Debo.
Ooh. Okay. I want to do some red hot chili proppers. Wait, you actually like Alex the Jimmy G under 228.5 too?
Yeah, that's one that I put on the run.
Wow, y'all are on the unders. Y'all
put on the run.
Jimmy G balls against the Rams.
I just threw it out there. I could change my mind. I haven't played that one yet. But
okay, Alex, now that Jared is saying no, I don't know about this one.
I could change my mind. But I do like it.
Better than mine.
I do like it. I do like the Jimmy G under because I don't think that they're going to win the ball by Jimmy G throwing for 300 yards.
I agree with.
That's not a recipe for success.
He's not.
He's having to throw that much.
Unless they're behind and unless the Rams do what they did in the prior game and jump out to a big lead. And then all of a sudden,
you have to.
Jimmy G, he had 80 yards on the last drive against the Rams with that Debo catch. So, and this game is going to be played on a fast track at SoFi Stadium, not going to be 0 degrees, not going to be 20 mile an hour howling winds at Lambeau Field. To me, betting an under in a prop, that's almost harder than betting an under in the game. You're basically rooting for Jimmy G to get knocked out of the game.
Taking a page out of Alex's book. And betting the under for Jimmy G.
Brian O'Neill in the chat. Life's too short to bet the under. I like that.
No. You got to enjoy life and bet the under. You got to feel every moment. You have to feel everything in the game. That's
you're gonna be feeling it all right. You bet that Jimmy G under. He throws a little screen pass to Debo, and then Debo does the little dance, and then he's gone for 80 yards. It's gonna be over quick.
Okay, so let's hope that doesn't happen, but it's okay.
Just a little dump off to Debo, and then who leads the league in yak, just whoop, whoop.
Oh, my God. Yeah, don't. No. Jared, no.
Stay
Alex,
away.
what's worse, that or this?
Oh, either or.
I think what's worse, Jared's dance or this?
My dance is pretty bad.
I don't know. I don't know, Lauren. I still have like PTSD.
A little wiggle.
I mean, a little wiggle.
Red Hot Chili Proppers, because I need to save myself from my dancing spirit that I'm in right now on a Thursday. So I'm going to give you some props. Jared, I'll start with you. Alex, I'm going to go back and forth, alternate. You have 15 seconds to say over, under, and why. Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
Drum roll. Jared, Tyler Boyd, longest reception, over, under 17.5 yards.
Wow. Give me the most random one to start. I think under, but I'd be lying if I said I looked at anything Tyler Boyd related this week. So we'll just go under for the sake of being contrarian.
Alex, how do you feel?
For longest reception, I'm not great.
That is a random one.
Yeah, why not?
I'm looking right now. 10 was his longest reception against Tennessee.
He's the possession guy. He's not the deep guy. Higgins and Chase are the deep guys.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go under as well.
Okay.
If he has 0 receptions, you hit your bet, by the way. I learned that the hard way with Nick Westbrook-Akina last week.
You hate to see it. You really do. Alex, Joe Mixon receiving yards, over, under 27.5.
Ooh.
Over. I like it. He's a guy that Burrow's been targeting out the backfield, and he's become a big part of that Bengals offense. So I like that to go over.
I'm with Alex on that one.
Mahomes, Jared, passing touchdowns, over, under 2.5.
Over. They're not a running team.
Yeah.
If they score 4 touchdowns in this game, I'm confident 3 of them will be from Mahomes' arm.
But
can I add in there you go. Can I add in a Mahomes rushing touchdown into the mix?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. That was plus 440 last week that we hit it. It's plus 150 now. They really they over adjusted that one in a big way, but I think there's a reason why. Wink, wink.
Totally. Jimmy G, Alex, pass completions, over, under 19.5.
I mean, over. I mean, that's 19. That's disrespectful. Let's be respectful of Jimmy G. I mean, he's gonna get 20 completions, right? He has to in this game because he has
short stuff. I think it's gonna be a lot of
stuff, right? It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be flashy, but you have to keep this Rams defense honest. I think I can see a lot of short stuff.
Jared, Cam Akers rushing yards, over, under 59.5.
Under. Oh, goodness gracious. The Niners.
Is Cam Akers should he even be the starting running back? They have Sony Michel. I mean, you can't trust Cam Akers.
I agree with that. First of all, the fumble situation is definitely noteworthy. Second of all, he's now played 3 consecutive games and has gotten a lot of work coming off the Achilles injury. And this Niners defense just eats. I mean, they are a really good front and a tough front to run against. And the Rams have struggled to run it against this front prior. So I would say under on Akers.
Okay. Last one. Alex, for you first. 49ers, Rams, total touchdowns, over, under 5.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
5? I gotta go over. Right?
Both of you guys, it's like cricket.
Yeah. 5. That is. I mean, that's I could see 5. Number. I could see 5, but I think I'm gonna go over. I believe.
Okay. Jared?
5. So the total's 46. Let's do a little math. 5 touchdowns is 35. So that's saying 3 to 4 field goals. Yeah, I think it's because of the Jimmy G situation.
It's because of the Niners offense. Right?
Yeah, I think the Niners offense is a hair underrated in this game. So I think they get the added touchdown. So it's 3 touchdowns for the Niners, 2 for the Rams, or 3. I think 3 and 3 actually.
Yeah.
So then that would be over. Yeah, over 5 touchdowns.
Good job, you guys. Red Hot Chili Proppers. Cross it off the list. We're done. We're going to be talking a lot more about the AFC and NFC championship games tomorrow, Saturday, heading into Sunday. So
do you bring the shades every day from now until Sunday?
I think if you're betting the Bengals, wear the shades. If you're fading the Bengals, you don't deserve to wear the shades. That's all I got to say about that.
You should wear the shades regardless because I think they make you look fly. Fly AF.
Shades and a polo.
Yes, when I pick the game, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to put the shades on, and then everyone will just know.
They look better than my nerdy.
Lee Corso at the end of
glasses.
College Game Day. Lee Corso at the end of College Game Day.
No,
puts him on his face,
Little headgear.
There we go.
Let's move on to college basketball because there's quite a few games tonight, and Jared obviously has his dumpster dive games. But let's start off with a Big Ten matchup that I'm really looking forward to. Number 6 Purdue taking on the Boilermakers. Iowa is a 2.5-point underdog in this spot. Purdue on the road playing the Hawkeyes, 16-3 overall, 5-3 in the Big Ten. Iowa 14-4 overall, 4-4 in Big Ten play. They need a marquee win here. Jared, what are you expecting from these two Big Ten teams?
Yeah, kind of an interesting game. Iowa as a team, you would think, is suited pretty well to go up against this Purdue squad, which is like Purdue's offense is humming. They're a great shooting team. They don't turn it over a ton. And overall, I think this is maybe the two best teams in the Big Ten. I don't know. I know there's some other teams that are, Michigan State.
Indiana might have something to say.
Yeah,
there's a big Michigan State game going on this Saturday.
There is, but Iowa's tough. So Iowa's only 2 losses of late came to Wisconsin and Rutgers, and they lost by 7 in this game earlier in the year. But that was a long time ago, back on December 3rd, and that was at Purdue. Yeah. I kind of think Iowa's a live dog in this spot. I really do. I think their offense is suited pretty well. And I don't know if there's been a lot of line movement in this game. Let me actually check to see if we've seen any market movement overnight. Yeah, a little bit of movement towards the dog, 2.5 now to 2. I would take the points with Iowa. I'd probably sprinkle the money line too, but I'm not betting it. But if I were, that's how I'd lean.
I actually really like Iowa in this spot. Alex, I'll let you go first though. Are you on this game at all, and who are you betting?
Yeah, I like Iowa in this spot. Even though 0-3 against ranked teams this year, the big question for me when I'm looking at the Purdue side is Jaden Ivey going to play? We think so, and how effective will he be? I think he's dealing with a hip pointer, which painful. So obviously he's a big deal for Purdue, but I think this is a great spot for Iowa. You look at their earlier matchup this year, lost by 7, but they didn't have Keegan Murray, who's obviously their guy, averaging almost 23 and 9. So I think with Murray going tonight, I like this Iowa offense a lot too. These are 2 great offenses. So what's 155, I believe.
Yeah, that's an over game. Huh?
I like the over. I like the over more than I like the side. So I like Iowa in the over
overnight, which is weird. I would say there's value to the over now that it's dropped from 158.5 to 154.5. But maybe somebody doesn't know someone knows something that I don't know.
Could that be Jaden Ivey related, you think?
Could be. That one is something to keep an eye on because offense and pace are not something that is going to be lacking in this game.
Totally. I know. That's what I was going to say is I really like Iowa's offense right now. 118.2 offensive rating. That's 7th in the nation. You look at the Boilermakers, number 1 in the league in offense, but I don't think they're a standout team on the defensive end. And I really think that that's where Iowa can take advantage because Iowa, they've only turned the ball over 12.6% of their possessions. That's 3rd best in the entire country right now. I think we're going to be able to protect the ball, attack Purdue on the offensive side, and break down Purdue's defense. And I think that's where they kind of get the edge. I'm betting Iowa plus 2.5 in this game. And I actually did, Jared, also sprinkle the money line. I really like them in this spot at home. Boilermakers on the road. I think it's going to be a really, really close game. It's going to be an exciting game, but I like Iowa here covering the spread. They have the offensive talent to keep up, in my opinion. So that's how I'm betting it. Let's go Hawkeyes, baby.
All right, let's dive in the dumpster.
Let's dive in the dumpster. FIU, Jared, taking on UTSA. All-time series. My Roadrunners own a 7-6 advantage and have won the last 2 meetings. How are you betting?
FIU's won 2 in a row, so I think they're coming in hot. Solid win over Western Kentucky, too, where they scored 86 points, 16 of 35 from three-point land. The FIU team shoots a ton of threes. They've got this little 5'8 point guard, 5'8", you heard that correctly, point guard, Tevin Brewer, who is he's a jackrabbit, man. He's all over the court. Last 2 games, 42 points, 6 of 13 from 3, 12 assists, just 4 turnovers. And UTSA, they're bad. And when I say bad, they're maybe one of the worst teams in the country. They've lost 6 straight. They are second to last in the country, 357 out of 358. teams in effective field goal percentage, which basically means they're the second worst shooting team in the country. They're 337th against the three, defending the three. And what did I just say? FIU likes to shoot a lot of threes. They're coming off a game where they made 16 of them. They've lost 3 straight home games. They haven't won a home game, the Roadrunners, against the D1 team since Thanksgiving Eve. And their D1 home wins this year include Denver, IUPUI, which is the worst team in the country, and Lamar.
Ooey
Pooey's is who they are. So I got FIU +1 last night. They're -1, -1.5 now. I still think it's fine to play it there. Then I'm on 2 overs. You know I love my dumpster dive overs.
Yeah.
William and Mary and Elon. Let's go to the Colonial first. William and Mary, very high tempo team, 161 possessions over their last 2 games. 74.3 possessions they're averaging during conference play, which is very high. Anytime you're over 70 possessions, that's a high tempo team. Elon's been a lot better on offense lately, 4th in effective field goal percentage in conference play. They're shooting the most threes of any Colonial team during conference play. They are a run and gun squad, and it's the first game of a home and home. These teams will play at William and Mary this weekend. First game of the home and home, I tend to lean over. Second game, I tend to lean under because you have some, you have them on tape and you kind of make adjustments defensively. So the first game, I think this is going to be a little more of a wide open game. Over 142.5, I think you can still find that price. ECU and Memphis. We've talked about this Memphis team a lot. Penny Hardaway is coming off of, what was questionable press conference the other day when he was kind of cursing out the media. We'll see if he's kind of figured things out since. They did win a game the other night. And this is a revenge spot for Memphis. So they just lost to ECU about 2 weeks ago. That score was 72-71. In the game, Memphis turned it over 17 times in that game, and they were just 4 of 11 from the free throw line. So that game should have went over 145.5. It didn't. This one, I think, will go over 145.5. East Carolina's coming off of a blowout to Houston where they only scored 36 points. Their offense cannot play any worse than it did in that game. Houston, of course, a much better defensive team than Memphis is. Memphis likes to run. The Pirates like to run and shoot it. They're 61st in the country in three-point percentage. They're 5th in the conference in points per game during American Conference play, and they're dead last in the league in points allowed. I think Memphis is going to play really fast in this game, and they are not going to let up. They are going to stick it to the Pirates after losing to them in their last game. And 145.5 is a pretty reasonable total. So we're going over in that game. So I'll give you the picks one more time. FIU +1. I would still play -1 or -2. William and Mary Elon over 142.5. And ECU Memphis over 145.5. Dumpster dives.
Let's go. You got to love the dumpster dives.
I have a question about the dumpster real quick.
Would
you consider the MAC a dumpster? The MAC is okay.
MAC,
for future reference.
The MAC conference is so there's like 3 or 4 conferences that I really like. The Colonial is one. I love the Colonial. I like the MAC. And I'm kind of getting into a couple of the other Conference USA Americans, which aren't really dumpster dive conferences.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of high-tempo teams in those conferences, especially the MAC and especially the American Conference as well. So Marshall's another one that is like – Marshall runs the fastest tempo in the country. They play tonight, but they play a team that's kind of so I laid off that one. They play Middle Tennessee, which is a slower tempo team. But there's some conferences that are breeding grounds for the overs, and I think those dumpster dive conferences are certainly fun. Not a lot of defense played in those conferences.
Yeah, you got to love the dumpster dives. I was going to try to transition to NHL with speaking of dumpsters. Let's talk about a team like the Senators, but it's not like the best transition right now. So I'm just going to say, let's go from the court to the ice. Okay. And take it to NHL. Alex, no bets for you in the NHL.
No ice picks. Listen, you guys are all on our Ice Cats tonight. So I'm going to just let you guys take that one.
That's my new favorite name for the Panthers, by the way.
Before I get to the Ice Cats, can I talk a little bit about the Canes taking on the Sens tonight?
Please do. Enlighten me.
Ottawa. I will say I love Ottawa because last time I was there was when I was working with the Avs, and we got to lace up skates and skate down the river. Like the river freezes, and you literally get to skate like 5 miles down it. There's coffee shops like on the river. So you're like, and picnic tables like on the ice. It's crazy. It's actually so much fun. So last time I was in Ottawa, I will say, great city. Love the city of Ottawa. Very cold. but very fun.
Very cool.
They're taking on the Canes, and sorry, I don't like them to win this game tonight. I like the Canes puck line actually at plus 100. I got that on FanDuel. Canes 21-11 on the season so far. The Sens are only 13-23. Now the Canes, they're coming off of a road loss to the Devils. They bounced back with an overtime win over Vegas. Their fourth win in the last 5 games. I mean, the Canes have been phenomenal recently. They're number 1 in the league in goals allowed per game. They're allowing the least amount of goals at 2.41 goals per game. The offense right now ranks 4th in the league. So they're in the top 5 in both goals allowed and goals scored per game. And Frederick Anderson, 22-6 with the 2.06 goals against average on the road. Fred, what do you say? Freddie boy, and 12-3 on the road with a 1.93 goals against average, under 2. That's really, really good. The Sens haven't necessarily had a great year. They're playing a little bit better recently. Last game, they had a 5-0 win against the Sabres. Matt Murray was solid in that game between the pipes, but he's been struggling overall. He's 3-7 with 3.05 goals against average. Even though they're playing better, 2 wins that they had recently were against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who weren't good. And then, like I said, the 5-0 win against the Buffalo Sabres. Now they're facing what, in my opinion, is a real NHL team in the Carolina Hurricanes. The Canes have one of the best records in the East. They've got 14-6 on the road. The favorite in this series is 11-3 in the last 14 games. Canes have the edge in this spot. I like them winning by 2 goals or more in Ottawa. Puck line plus 100. Canes, lock it in. Load it. We're ready to go.
Don't hate it.
I have a question.
Let's hear it. I love when Alex always goes, whenever he has a question, he goes, I have a question. Like you always like put like the thinking cap on with like the stroking of the chin. Yeah.
I do have it's a legitimate question because while I don't have any hockey plays yet, one game I was looking at was this Blues Flames game. And I'm just looking at the Flames last night, 62 shots on goal.
They just played each other. So it's again, second game of a home and home against the same team. It's always tough to cap. I always lean under.
So it's 6, and the
62
under's
shots.
The under's actually even money right now.
Again, the Flames could score. Like I was actually, because I was looking at that game last night because there's this weird thing going on right now where the Flames and the Blues are 5-0 in their last 5 games to the over in the first period. And I was like, wow, I have to bet the over in the first period because in the last 5 games, neither of these teams have stayed under.
Yeah.
But they just played each other 2 days ago. So 2 days ago,
yeah.
Hard to come back on an over when they just played. Because to me, again, it kind of goes back to that dumpster dive cap I gave. First game of the home and home tends to be a little more wide open. Again, that's just recency and general bias. There easily this Flames game could go over tonight. But second game against the same team, tough cap.
I was going to ask, like, with just the 62 shots on goal, just kind of like you can, throw your arm out or something. I mean, is there anything to that? I mean, a little fatigue, a little shooting fatigue the second game after
62 shots on goal in the NHL is wild. Like 40 is a lot. 40 is considered a lot.
I'm willing to bet that there will be significantly less shots than that tonight in this game between those 2 teams. We can make a little side LBI wager that game will stay under because it's just a hunch. Just a hunch. No numbers, no data or anything. Just second game after a high-scoring, high-tempo game tends to lean under in my P-size.
In my humble opinion.
In my P-size.
Jared, let's save our VGK Ice Cats pick for our best bets of the day and move on to the best bets of the day. But before we do, Pickswise 3-star play of the day. We have an NBA prop of the day.
Actually, so there's 2 that I'll give you. First, I'll give you Connor's total in the Ducks Habs because I actually did bet this. Connor Gertenai has done a great job with NHL picks this year. Overall, NHL best bets are 51-33 this year. And he is on the under 5.5 in the Ducks and the Habs. And then I am doing this new thing. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. I am doing one NBA prop every day. As you know, I haven't bet a ton of NBA this year. But the best way that I think is to get acclimated to the markets is to bet props because
dip your toe.
Exactly. We're doing a little toe dip, but you get invested in the rotations. You get invested in the player movements. You watch specific players and how they kind of come off the bench, when they come off the bench. And I think it's a good way to get invested with the teams themselves. Instead of just betting the Lakers and hope they win, I'm betting on LeBron James's under 3.5 made threes. So he has gone under this total in 3 straight. He's facing a very good Sixers defense tonight, and it's the first game of a back-to-back. The Hornets are on deck tomorrow, so we'll see what his minutes are. Maybe he'll miss tomorrow's game and he'll play full minutes tonight. Maybe they'll split it. I don't really know, but the fact that I'm betting a LeBron James prop tonight in the front end of a back-to-back, I'm going to be paying very close attention to his minutes tonight and what happens tomorrow. So I will be getting a little more information about the Lakers' rotations going forward. So we're going LeBron James under 2.5 made threes, and then the Connor Grutenheis 3-star play of the day, Ducks and the Habs under 5.5.
I like it. Make sure to check that out at Pickswise.com. We got 3-star plays of the days every
props
day.
of the days, plays
So
of the
check
days.
it out. Props of the day.
Plays
Speaking of NBA props, AG, you got one on my boy Steph.
Yeah, I got one, and this was actually a tough one to pull the trigger on here. So I'm going with Curry over 24.5 points tonight. 18 points on Tuesday, 13 points on Sunday. Hasn't gone over 24 points since last Thursday. He's only gone over that number 4 times this month. He's really going through a little bit of a slump here. But I am going with the over here because I'm looking at what has happened with the T-Wolves over the past couple of games with the point guards they faced. I mean, we had Trae Young go for 37, Kyrie go for 30. Portland doesn't have a true point guard with Dame out, but so I'm ignoring that game. But I think this is a good spot for Curry to bounce back. 3 for 23 in the past, from 3 in the past 2 games. So I just think something's got to give eventually for Steph, and 24.5 that's not crazy. So I'm going to buy low on Steph in this spot.
I like it. I actually might tell you on this one. I kind of like it. I do. Jared, I'll let you go first because we have the same play of the day, and then I'll just add on VGK taking on the Florida Panthers, the Ice Cats.
Ice Cats. So the Ice Cats, just call them the home Ice Cats. 21-3 at home. If you just blindly bet 100 bones on every Panthers money line this year, you'd be up 1,475 bones. That's some serious Ice Cats cheddar right there.
Yeah.
So of those 21 wins at home, only 2 of them went to overtime. So 19 of the 21 have been in regulation. 7 straight wins at home, 45-14 scoring margin in those games over the last 7. I mean, it's absurd how good they are at home. It will be their top netminder tonight. I just saw the morning skate action. It does look like it's going to be Bobrovsky. Yeah, right? Bobrovsky. That's their top goalie. Bobrovsky. Yeah, Bobrovsky tonight. Vegas, meanwhile, coming off a 4-3 loss to the Canes. They haven't been playing great.
That was a really close game, man.
Really good game. But prior to that, they lost to the Caps 1-0, who have not been playing very well. They lost to the Sharks the other night, 1-0. A little soccer action in there for you. And then they beat the Habs 4-3, like one of the worst teams in hockey. Then prior to that, 3 straight losses to the Pens, the Leafs, and the Hawks. So you can make a case that, Vegas has had 3 1-goal wins and then 3 losses over their last 6. They've kind of been on the knife's edge here. And I think the Panthers are just, at home, how can you not bet them at a -110 price to win in regulation? So that's where we're going tonight. Panthers and regs.
I know. I'm right there with you. And you talked about Bobrovsky a little bit. He's been stellar between the pipes. 21-4-3 on the season, 2.46 goals against average, 92.2 save percentage. He's been so solid. Right now, the Panthers second in the league behind the Avs, and offensively 4.02 goals per game. VGK 14 in the league and goals allowed 2.98. I think the Panthers are going to take care of business on home ice. Move to 22 wins, 22-3 on home ice. They're first in the Atlantic right now. They're riding a 7-game win streak at home, like you said. And it's just, the Ice Cats are hard to bet against at this point, especially at home. We
got that juicy future on them to win the cup too at the 10-1.
That's
I'm excited about Florida in
that's
playoffs.
Looking pretty in your hand right now, Jared.
They're going to have to beat the Lightning in a 7-game series to get through the cup, I think. Something tells me that's going to be the matchup. Well, that I think they can do, and I don't think the Avs are getting to the cup final. And by the way, if they did, that would be a rematch. I do not think so.
3 straight years they've lost in the second round. 2 of them in game 7, 1 of them in game 6, and it's just devastating.
I don't think they're a team that's built to win in the playoffs.
Why?
Because it's goaltending.
The one thing that worries me about the Avs this season is their goaltending.
Yeah, and to me, that is the big issue with a team that that's why I love the Islanders. If the Islanders get into the playoffs, look out. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be Avs Panthers. That'd be a rematch of the Stanley Cup I attended when I was 10 years old.
Yeah. Our producer Jack said, I hate warm weather NHL teams winning Stanley Cups. It doesn't feel right. There shouldn't even be ice in Florida.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Jack, it has nothing to do with the temperature or the climate. It's all about the quality of the team. Jack knows better. He's been working with me for 6 months. Those stupid little biases and those little, outside things don't matter. It's all about the game on the ice.
It's all about the game on the ice, baby. We'll see how those games play out tonight on the ice. That's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Alex Glaze, Jared Smith, Lauren Javar. Best of luck tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Oh my God.